one of the great sports stories of this or any other year. 13 years out of senior football, the Brandywell once again is the focal point for Derry, the second largest city of Northern Ireland. Today, the former Irish League champions and Cup winners play host to the Garda in the first ever FAI Cup game at the venue. So for Mick Leach and his team, the preparations are over. And Garda Football Club of the Leinster Senior League Division 1A face their greatest test yet. Off the field, there'll be massive support for the men in blue. An overnight stop in Ballybofey brought players and fans together, and there was an emotional private mass for the party in their hotel this morning. Then it was down to business as Mick Leach gave his charges a final warm-up and a chance to talk over tactics and any last-minute problems. And as if by some ironic twist of fate, they're drawn against Garda Football Club. The sectarian divide in Northern Ireland needs little emphasis, yet of all the teams Derry might have drawn in today's fourth round, there was none which could have more sharply defined the divide in Irish life. In 1972, when Derry were thrown out of the Irish League, part of the heart of this great city died. For 13 years, the club persistently reapplied for membership to the Irish League, and their membership of the League of Ireland is largely due to Fran Fields, then president of the league and still at the helm of Finn Harps in nearby Ballybofey.
Yeah, well, I had that notion for a long time to get Derry into the league. About 4 years that I've been thinking about that, and when I said it, a lot of people didn't believe in me, but I have to thank all the League of Ireland clubs, really, because they were the people that put Derry City there. You know, we have to be fair about that, and I have to be very honest about it, that they were the people that backed me when I was president of the league, and other than that, we wouldn't have got Derry into the league.
The financial injection of Derry in League of Ireland football, of course, has benefited your club as well, because, of course, they brought the massive support with them when they played here recently.
Well, in my opinion, Derry City is the Manchester United of Irish football today. They've brought thousands back into the game, and they're going to revive football both in Finn Park and Brandywell in the not too distant future. They will revive football all over Ireland. I have no doubt about that. That is my main objection.
For Garda Football Club, this draw was a chance in a million. After defeating Workman's Club, St Mary's Athlone and Pegasus in the preliminary rounds, the Leinster Senior League Division 1A outfit find themselves here with the greatest sporting moment of their lives.
Well, there's a lot of emphasis being placed on the financial aspect of this tie, but our primary reason that we came to the Brandywell was the sense of the occasion, and the fact it's Derry City's debut in the FAI Cup, and to us that's a marvellous occasion, and we're glad to be part of that today, and we're delighted to go to Brandywell and play in front of such a large crowd of supporters. Very, very partisan crowd, and I'm sure we'll get a great reception, but I don't think the financial aspect of the tie came into it that much at all, no.
Well, you've scored 8 goals in your 5 cup matches so far. The 3 games against Pegasus, Workman's Club, St Mary's Athlone, and I noticed 7 different players have scored in those matches. So obviously you're a team who can score from every part of the field.
Well, we've a fairly versatile team, or a versatile scoring team, all right. We have Rory Gerard, who's a very impressive striker, and Rory's been scoring consistently since the start of the season, and Tommy Kinsler will give us a bit of pace on the right side, I think, as well. But yes, our midfielders have been scoring, and defenders occasionally. So we're quite pleased with the all-round scoring ability of our team, yes.
And Tommy Kinsler, I believe, played minor hurling also for Tipperary in an All-Ireland final in 81 against Wexford.
That's correct. Tommy's a very accomplished hurler. He's actually, he got man of the match this year in the Meath County final. We had to release him for one Sunday, which for one of the Pegasus matches actually, but luckily we drew that match and he was back for a replay and played a starring role in our match as well.
And you being a Tullamore man, of course, hurling's very close to your heart.
Yes, well, I've played a lot of Gaelic football and hurling over the years as well, but soccer obviously is now our prime, #1 game. But yes, I take a keen interest in the fortunes of the Offaly teams.
You tell them.
Give them away, lads.
You tell them. Yeah. All of them. A couple of the cars there are with us too.
Cold out there. Here's the supporters, lads.
Paddy, look at them.
As the Garda party crossed the border just a few miles from the Brandywell, where they received a fantastic welcome.
Hello, Tommy.
Mark. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Mick McCauley, I played football at Athlone many moons ago.
Nice chairman. Nice to see you. Paddy Coffee. Nice to meet you.
I think it's fantastic. It's good to see them coming, you know. I think we're going to be given a good reception as well.
I'm glad that they're up.
That's it.
And there's no hassle on the way up.
For the cup
I
today.
don't mind Garda coming up, you know, as long as they don't get too much bar on the way up or back again, you know.
I think they deserve a lot of credit for coming up here because they've got death threats and everything, you know, so...
Given the promotion is now beyond Derry in their first season back in senior soccer, does this FAI Cup match put his team under extra special pressure? Player-manager Noel King.
I feel that we're probably attracting the biggest crowd we've attracted all season. I would think that in itself brings added pressure. It's lovely pressure to have, but the fact that the guards have come up, it's a little bit of a special cup tie. Pressure, we have to win the game, which is enormous pressure, but I'm glad to have that type of pressure. I prefer to be playing here in front of 12, 13,000 people than be playing in front of 120 people, 1,000 people down in another tie.
Your supporters gave them a fantastic welcome when they went out on the pitch.
I don't think that's specially preserved for the Garda. I think that's the normal run-of-the-mill supporters. They're really terrific. Every team that have come here so far have been greeted in that way. The fact that it's an extra large crowd today would probably make it seem a bit special, but they are a bit special.
Yes, they made a slow start though, Derry City. It took them 21 minutes to get their first goal. But when it came along, quite a spectacular effort it was. Owen DeGama here, and when his cross came over, there was Kevin Mahon in the penalty area to strike a goal as sweet as you like. 1-0 then to Derry City. But early in the second half, Garda had a great chance to get back into the match during their best spell in the game. Declan McDowell here failed to clear the ball, and Eamon Tui's cross found John Harnett in space as the Derry defence for once dithered, but unfortunately his shot went wide of the goal. Derry had a purple patch 19 minutes into the second half, scoring 3 goals in 4 minutes, and ensured themselves a place in Friday's 5th round. Nelson De Silva there, unfortunately taken down by Tom Kilfina, possibly a dubious penalty award that. But up stepped Stuart Gold from the back, and he struck the penalty firmly past Eddie Ryan's right side. That bad luck there seemed to undermine the guards' confidence, and Derry capitalised superbly. Gus Keating's error there, following Eamon Quigley's long kick, allowing DeGama to come in and put the shot there past goalkeeper Eddie Ryan once more. Just a minute later, and Derry got their 4th goal as the Leinster Senior Leaguers gallantly tried to stem the red and white tide. King and McGuinness involved initially, and Kevin O'Neill's header putting DeGama away. His cross seemed to be covered by the defence, but as they hesitated, in stepped Brendan Bradley to hammer home number 4, the first goal for Bradley for his new club, Derry City. 5 minutes from time, Derry completed the scoring. Kevin Mahon's corner, not cleared at the near post, and when the ball came back into the middle, O'Neill got the final touch to make it 5-0. So a comprehensive win for Derry City. They looked irresistible at times today and really punished all of Garda's errors. But the football club from Garda can still hold their heads high as they made a lot of friends in Derry today.
It was a tremendous sporting occasion, an historic occasion. We were delighted to come here. Derry City, since they joined the League of Ireland, have a fantastic reputation. Their supporters have a fantastic reputation when they come down south to play the teams in the Republic. We were particularly pleased to draw them. For a junior team like us, it was an achievement to get to this stage in the Cup. And we knew we were going to come up here with a tremendous fight in our hands. I think it's been a wonderful sporting occasion. The reception our team got was out of this world. Fantastic. And
Absolutely. And the arrangements by the Derry club have been nothing short of first class.
First class. The stewarding arrangements, I haven't seen them excelled anywhere I have been. But this has been a pattern of Derry, coming down south, They've brought their own stewards with them. Their stewarding of their crowds has been, just as I say, really. It's a tribute to the club and coming back into football after being out of it since around 1972 to be able to do this. And I think they're a model for other clubs all throughout Ireland, and indeed maybe elsewhere.
Very well indeed. We're very happy with the result, but we're deeply grateful for the Garda team to come along here and play the match. As you know, it was they got a home draw, and we requested that maybe they might come to Brandywell. They in turn, their chairman, Paddy Coffey, consulted with the superiors, and they agreed to come here. We had a great day. I'm delighted as chairman, our management committee is delighted, and it's great for the supporters.
Absolutely, the best support I've ever seen at a League of Ireland game, I must say. But do you still feel that there's no political undertones to the game today?
I am happy with it. We're in the business of sport, and it's sport only. We're not concerned with politics. As far as I'm concerned, our management committee is concerned, we're happy to be in the League of Ireland. We're very grateful. The hospitality we received down south, every place we go, we're delighted. And furthermore, I'd like to thank the guards. When we go down south, they look after us.
Well, a really great day in Derry City. Well, else
to play at the Brandywell.
The overnight stay in a top-class hotel, the pullovers produced specially for the match, the television cameras on the bus. You'd have sworn the Garda soccer team were on their way to a Wembley final rather than an FAI first-round tie against Derry City. But any illusions were well and truly shattered as their coach pulled up to the border crossing on the Letterkenny Road, where the RUC were waiting to guard the Garda en route to the Brandywell in the heart of the Bogside. In the confused and confusing world of Ulster, the RUC were there to protect their southern counterparts through a Republican area in the face of threats from loyalists. The RUC Land Rovers stayed with the Garda coach until it was safely inside the Brandywell, then they pulled out. On the streets around the ground, soldiers were on patrol, but the security in the ground was left to 50 Derry City stewards who searched every car going in, including that of the bemused referee.
They're doing what they have to do. And, nobody can complain about that, can you?
Indeed, so strict was security that Derry's former manager, Jim Crossan, was turned away from the ground by his son.
Morning, I got turned away from the gate because he had no pass.
He used to manage the club?
I was managing for a while.
The Garda's manager dismissed any idea that all the security and the UVF death threat would upset his men.
As far as we were concerned, we came to play a football match. Obviously we knew when we were coming that there would have been sort of maybe some repercussions, but it hasn't affected us at all in our build-up. As far as we're concerned, we're coming for it. We're a non-league club coming to the biggest occasion of the team's career.
Before the kick-off, the Garda investigated the state of the pitch and couldn't believe the welcome from the terraces.
We're overwhelmed. Well, mildly surprised, but it's fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant to be here, and the reception, as I said, couldn't be better. So we're looking forward to a great game now.
It's not often policemen get a welcome like that.
No, it's not. It's unusual, but it's great.
I can truthfully say, from what we have seen of the Derry City supporters coming down to Dublin and to the other centres where they play, they're extremely well-behaved, wonderful supporters of soccer.
12,000 fans were jam-packed into the Brandywell to see the team they love so well. Among them, Bishop Edward Daly, who defended his Protestant counterpart, Bishop James Mahaffey, who'd been criticised for watching the team.
I was surprised. I think it's shameful. I think anybody should be entitled to what they want with the spare time.
I mean, we don't count heads or anything like that, but you know, I would see people that I've known from maybe the other side, what we call the other side of the fence, and they've come here to Brandywell, they've enjoyed the games, they've gone away happy, and I mean, that's the way we want it to continue.
At one point, a group of Republicans on a rooftop outside the ground unfurled a banner to let the Garda visitors know they weren't welcomed by everyone in Derry. But the threatened loyalist attacks didn't come about, and it looked like the big guns of Derry City's attack were firing blanks until the 22nd minute, when Kevin Mahon finally broke through what had been a secure Garda defence. In the second half, Derry ran riot against the Garda, who for once weren't asking all the questions, and goal number 2 came from a Stuart Gould penalty. 2 more goals followed in 2 minutes, the first a real sizzler from South African Owen De Gama. Substitute Brendan Bradley made it 4 after 68 minutes. And 3 minutes from time, Kevin O'Neill made the Garda Chicanas Pirates with goal number 5.
Well, I think the Garda came and they stuck to their task in the first half. They slowed things down, made it very difficult for us. 1-0 at half time was a good
a good sort of cushion to go in with. But in the second half, I felt the experience of playing week in, week out at a higher grade of football stood to us. Also, I feel we had better individuals on the day, and I think we deserved to win by a couple of goals.
What about that support?
Have a look for yourself. As just said, it's the best place to be today in Ireland, without question. It's fantastic.
What about the next round? Who are you hoping for?
Anybody, we take anybody. Be nice to get them here though, I'll tell you that.
Do you think it'll be as easy?
It's never easy. It was never easy today. I mean, right up until we get the second, third goal, it was never easy.
Right, today's sport.